All right. What's up, everybody? Hey, so we're going to talk a little bit about the three different levels of ownership when it comes to a martial arts school, right? So, there's basically three levels, and there's actually four, but we won't talk about the fourth one right now. But basically, there's three levels of every martial arts school ownership model. And most people that are owning these schools never make it to level three. So let's kind of break this down a little bit. Let's talk about this in the idea of what level maybe you are at, what level maybe you're trying to get to. And we'll kind of go through the different levels. And let me share my screen here. So basically, there's three different levels to this ownership game of martial arts schools. And really, when you think about it, it's really any business, right? Um, so we're going to use coach as kind of the bottom line or bottom idea of this. And coach is not only the people that are actually doing the coaching, right? But it's really the mindset of it, right? So when I say coach, I'm not just talking about teaching classes, but really the mindset behind running the business. The second tier is what we call the operator. And the third tier is really that ownership model, right? That ownership level. And that's where a lot of actual owners never make it to that model or to that level. And what I want you to understand is that your whatever role or whatever level you are at, it really is going to determine the ceiling to your business, right? So it's either going to be how many students you get, and a lot of people struggle to get over 100 students. So it's either going to determine how many students you have, what that revenue looks like, or possibly what that profit looks like in your business. So each level, kind of level one, level two, level three, coach, operator, owner, and then each one of those is really going to determine where you are in the business idea of your business. So when we talk about that, there are three kind of core problems. Really, there's more than that, but a lot of people think that these are the problems, right? They think, hey, I need more leads. Probably you don't. There's probably enough leads out there, whether you're doing advertising or not. But they kind of come to us with the problem of I need more leads. You might need more leads, but you have some other things that are happening also. I need more sales. I need better retention. Most people don't think they need better retention actually because everybody thinks that their school's amazing and nobody ever leaves. But then when you look at the number, they're stuck at 50 or they're stuck at 100 forever. So it's like if you had good retention, you would just keep growing because you would be getting more people in the front door and less people out of the back. But a lot of people think that their retention is really good. But these are kind of the big kind of flashing problems people typically come with. I need more leads. I need more sales. I have, retention issues. Really, what it comes down to is you've kind of captured yourself into one of these levels. And typically, the level that you're in is the way that you're thinking, the way that you're acting, the way that you're spending money, the way that you're doing all of these things. And it's not allowing you to get to that next level of business. So again, it's not a sales problem, leads problem, anything like that. It's a role problem. It's a mindset problem that the owner themselves has. And it's hard to move them through those different levels of ownership. So, what I want you to understand is that growth requires evolution, right? So, as a business, you must evolve. As a business owner, you must evolve. And as the business grows, your role as that owner must also grow. You can't keep doing all of the things in your business and expect your business to keep growing. You can't clean the toilets, answer the phones, do the contracts, do the advertising, teach every class. It comes to a point where you can't do more, and that's when their growth will stall. Most of you are out there hustling, doing all the work, and that's great. But again, is it holding you back from getting the growth that you want in your business? Coach, operator, owner, like these are all different stages and all are going to require a different evolution of yourself and of your business. Like there's going to be different things that need to happen at each one of these stages. And, again, it's a small business, right? So we're going to be probably putting on, when we talk about putting on hats, like I'm going to be the coach sometimes, I'm going to be the owner sometimes, I'm going to be the operator sometimes. But the real process or thought that we want to get out of this is that we want to keep moving up the org chart, right? So if we have an organizational chart, and you have like cleaners at the bottom, and you have assistant coaches, and then coaches, and sales leaders, and all of these different pieces of that org chart. Our name is probably on a lot of these different pieces of this org chart. But what we want to do is be able to start to replace our name with other people's names, right? Take off the sales hat and put on the instructor hat. Take off the instructor hat, put on the owner hat. And so the idea is we want to keep replacing ourselves on an upward motion of the org chart. Most org charts are going to be a diamond or a triangle. They're going to flow down. So lots of roles at the bottom, one leadership role at the top. So again, what we're trying to do, as we start to go up these different levels of business, we're replacing ourselves along this org chart. We're not assisting any more classes. We maybe not teaching any classes. We might not be doing sales. We might not be doing front desk. We might not be cleaning the toilets. All of these things are places where we're replacing ourselves on that org chart, and we're moving ourselves up into that owner role or CEO or president, whatever you want to kind of talk about. But you have to remember, what got you to maybe 50 students is probably not what's going to get you to 150. You're going to have to change some things. You're going to have to evolve a little bit. So when we start thinking about this, we have to start asking ourselves some questions, right? We got to look in the mirror and we got to ask ourselves some questions, and we've got to be honest. What is my behavior, right? Not my title. My title might be owner. But if my behavior is coach and all I do is really worry about the coaching aspects of the business, then I'm not going to be able to grow to that next thing. So when we're looking in the mirror and when we're asking these questions, we have to be honest with ourselves. We can't lie. We can't make up things. We have to be very, very honest and very, very factual, right? Just because I have a title of owner or a title of CEO or a title of president, if I'm only operating in the operator role, or if I'm only operating from a coaching role, then, or a technician kind of idea, then again, I can't go to that next level. So ask yourself, like, what level am I acting like in my business? And again, we're going to be moving around from different levels of this business, but what level am I acting from, right? Am I acting from that coaching level 1? Am I acting from more of an operator level 2? Or am I acting more from that owner level number 3, right? What behavior can I kind of point to that proves that? Am I just focused on the classes and the students? That is really good. You're going to get good retention. You're going to get good training, but is your business going to be able to grow, right? Maybe I'm only acting as the owner and I'm not doing anything else that needs to get done, and I don't have systems in place and I don't have processes in place. So now my coaching, my students are leaving because my retention isn't that good because I don't have someone in that coaching role. So again, like, be very honest with yourself. Look at yourself. What level are you acting like from a coaching perspective, operator perspective, or an owner perspective? What behaviors do you see in your actions that are proving that? And then, ask yourself, am I coaching too much? And again, when we say coaching, it's really the idea of like just doing everything in the business yourself, teaching, cleaning, front desk, advertising, marketing, videos, like whatever it is, everything you're doing yourself. Or are you starting to kind of move to that operator role where maybe you're putting some systems in place, some processes in place? And then are we moving from that to that owner role where we're kind of overlooking the people that are putting the systems in place and following up with those systems and processes? Do I have a hiring plan? Do I not? Do I do some kind of leadership development for my staff or for my students? Like, all of these things are going to be moving us through these different levels of the business. So as we start to figure out where we are in this hierarchy of levels, we need to start to be able to figure out, how do I make the shift that I need, right? Time is not going to graduate you to that next level, right? You're not going to go from instructor or coach to operator just because you've been doing it for 2 or 3 years, right? The only way that you will actually move to that next level is through behavior, right? So I have to be setting a calendar. I have to have systems in place. I have to have processes in place. That's going to get me to that operator level. And then from there, I have to be investing into the business. I have to be hiring people. I have to be making sure people are following the systems and processes. I have to be tweaking the systems and processes. And that's when I start to move into that owner role or owner operate or owner position, because now I'm actually operating like an owner with people underneath of me or systems or processes underneath of me. So again, time is not going to promote us to these levels. Revenue does not promote us to these levels. The only thing that is going to promote us is the behavior that we're doing as owners, as leaders, right? So if you want to have those results of an owner or results of that kind of higher level, we have to act that way, right? We have to be able to put systems in place and follow them. We have to be able to advertise our business. We have to be able to hire staff. We have to be able to train staff. All of these things come at these different levels. So, ask yourself, right? What level have you been operating from? And then what is the one behavior maybe that you could change in the way that you're operating in order to get you to that next level? You've got to stop doing low level things. Low level is in cleaning, assisting, teaching classes. And it's not like it's a low level thing as in it doesn't matter, but it's a lower priority when we're looking to grow the business. I can't grow the business and focus on growth avenues if I'm always worried about what's happening in the business day to day, right? I have to start looking outside of the business and put some goals in place, put some strategies in place, and start working towards those. So what I want you guys to remember, there's 3 levels to this business idea, right? The coach is that first level that most of us come in as, right? We're a technician. We're a person that liked martial arts, and now we start teaching martial arts. So coaching is really about building skills for yourself as a business owner. So meaning I learn how to market a little bit. I learn how to do sales. I learn how to do lead nurture, lead generation. I learn how to run a class correctly. I learned how to, set up the restrooms and all of the kind of processes that need to happen inside of those, right? I build the skills of doing the things themselves. As we start to move out of that coaching role and more into that operator role, the operator now needs to take all those skills that we've learned and we need to build systems around those skills. So what is my sales process? What is my lead process? What is my lead nurture process? How do I generate leads? How do we do retention? How do we do upsells? How do we build team members and things like that, right? So the first level is really just building the individual skills yourself. The second level is how do I take those skills that I've learned and build systems around those to be able to teach those to others. And then really that third level is kind of like the growth level, right? So we're looking outside of the business and we're looking at how do I build all of these skills and systems into assets for the business, right? So if I can build a sales system and teach people how to run that and they run that themselves, I've built an asset for myself and for my business. If I can build some kind of lead generation system for my business as an operator, and then as an owner, I take that and I teach it to somebody else and they build revenue off of that, I've built an asset for my business. So the idea is if we are in our business every day doing all of these things, right? Putting out all the fires, teaching all the classes, cleaning all the toilets, I never build the systems. But if I do build the systems, but I'm still the one implementing all of these systems, I'm still in that operator mode. I need to bring other people into the business to run the systems that I've built so that I can go outside of the business and either look at, hey, I can open another location. Hey, we can get into another business. Hey, I can sell this and franchise these systems and processes I've made. Hey, how do I just grow the business that I have? I'm going to do more outreach. I'm going to do more growth kind of ideas in order to grow the business. So again, when we break these down, coaching role or that first level is really about just the idea of personal skill development inside of the owner of the business, inside of our staff, maybe in the business. That operator is really building the systems, processes, KPIs, tracking, all of that kind of stuff. And then that owner is taking all of those systems that we've built and we're monetizing those somehow, either through the business that we're in, or maybe by going outside of the business to use that same model to make more money somewhere else. So these kind of different strategies and different levels of business is really what we're going to be talking about in the new Academy Kings Growth Lab. So we're going to be launching that off at the end of the month. But if you're interested in getting in on the priority list, go ahead and there's a link in the description that will give you access to the priority list. That priority list will get access 24 hours before the rest of the public in order to get more information about the Growth Lab. The Growth Lab is going to be a member group of 30 people. And we're going to be working on all of these kinds of aspects of the business. Obviously, we want to make sure that the business is running. We're getting leads, we're getting sales and things like that. But there's a lot of this mindset and coaching and operating systems and processes that we have to get in place in our business in order to start to move people through. And that's exactly what we're going to be working on inside of the Growth Lab. So if you're interested in Growth Lab, go ahead, click the link, put your information in to get set up for the pre-launch of that. We're going to be doing that at the end of the month. But if not, just use the videos, use the information, build a better business for yourself. So I hope that helps. Again, click in the description. There should be some links for the Growth Lab. And if you're interested in Growth Lab, go ahead and get signed up for the priority list. There'll be some bonuses and some cool things that we're going to be doing for anybody on the priority list. That priority list is getting full. We got about 10,000 people on our list right now that we've already been kind of pushing this Growth Lab out to. So people are already on the priority list. If you want on that, go ahead and click the link and get in there. But this is the mindset that you need to have. Getting out of each one of these roles, going down that org chart and working our way up and replacing ourselves along that organizational chart so that we are moving ourselves out of these coaching roles and out of these operator roles and into that ownership level of the business. Hope that helps. And I hope you are rocking it. And remember, you guys, you are closer than you think to the academy of your dreams. So if your academy's been stuck, if you're not growing the way that you think or want to grow, jump in the Growth Lab. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be easy. It's going to be fun. And you're going to learn a lot about business in the idea of how do I move myself through this thing? How do I grow my business? How do I make sure all the bottom systems and process and KPIs are all being kind of done correctly? So that is what Growth Lab is about. It's really designed for businesses, 150 or under about 100 students that are been plateaued. So if you've been stuck for 6 months, a year, and you're not seeing that growth, jump in the Academy Kings Growth Lab and you will see a lot of growth. And you will see it relatively quickly. Hope that helps. And yeah, rock on.